All right. I want to... I don't know if you are aware of this book. It is the #1 bestseller. Yours is going to be #1 next week. But
this one, that's USA Today, I think.
Okay. Right. This has sold 4.1 million copies. The Prayer of Jabez. If you haven't heard about what this is, you'll appreciate this. W.C. Fields, you know this story? When he was on his deathbed, he was a famous atheist. One of the few people like us who was willing to say he was not too fond of religion or children. But anyway, he was, and he was looking at a Bible. His best friend walked in and said, "Bill, what are you doing with the Bible?" And he said, "Looking for loopholes."
Yes.
Well, they found one. I bring this up because they found a loophole in the Bible, the Prayer of Jabez. It's buried in the book of Chronicles, and the prayer says, "Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory." So this has sold 4 million copies because people are buying it who, one, think that prayer works. You know, if you say to God, you petition him. And also, but what's so cynical and awful about this is that they're praying for self-aggrandizement. This is a prayer that says, enlarge my territory, make me rich, give me stuff. Is this not?
I think if it was praying for sex, it might be something worthwhile.
But people do pray for sex. They just don't talk about it. People are going to pray for wealth. Well, I don't see the problem with the book. I mean, I understand. I don't think children should be having to read that in school. But I think there's nothing wrong with praying for self-aggrandizement. People do it anyway.
But what is the point?
We're lowly human beings. We pray for all kinds of things.
I'm told by people who pray, I say to them, suppose God doesn't answer your prayer. And they say, well, then it's his will. I will accept his will. Then what is the point of praying in the first place if he's going to do what he wants to anyway? There's supposedly a divine plan. Well, how are you so arrogant as to ask him to change his plan for some narrow reason, whether it's health or wealth? I mean,
because we are arrogant. We all think the world revolves around us.
But do you think prayer works? I mean, I pray to Joe Pesci.
I don't believe in...
I pray to Joe Pesci, and I get the same results. I get the same results I used to get from God when I was 9 years old, and I believed in the invisible man in the sky. You get about half the things you pray for. It's laws of probability. Half the things you pray for you get, half of them you don't. You write off the half you don't. The half you get, you say, oh, isn't he great? And it's just a game. It's a form of mental illness.
No, I
just don't want the lightning to hit me.
Look, relax. Try to relax. Try to relax.
Pray for me.
So you think God would throw a lightning bolt at you also?
I think... Listening to what I just heard, as insulting as that is, to millions of people
will he strike me dead right now? Will he? He doesn't dare.
You know what? Pray now.
He doesn't dare. He doesn't dare. He doesn't care.
I think it's so much more. I mean, I believe in God. I think you
believe in God.
Of course I do. I just give him so much more credit than you do. It's insulting. Any supreme being. It's so insulting to think that he's up there reading these petitions. Please give me a real estate business.
A Mercedes.
A Mercedes. I mean, that's insulting.
But that's your interpretation.
That's what they're praying for.
That's what the book says. Prayer should be for peace, for family, for health, for
Why should we control or mandate what people pray for?
It's not a mandate.
Pray for whatever they want.
Understanding what has gotten you so upset.
Matter.
God says in the Bible that he cares about us just like he knows that every sparrow that falls and every hair on our head. So he does care about our individual cares.
I have a good point.
Yes.
You know, when you talk about God in this society, when you profess a belief in God, they just toss the name around. You know, every end of every politician's speech, God bless him, God bless us all, God bless you, God bless America. And let me say,
and God bless you, and God bless your book being #1.
That's lovely. He had very little to do with that. It's all individual human. No, please let me explain something. God. It's a wonderful idea. It's a nice fantasy. It's a way of keeping people in line. It's a way of controlling people. There is as much proof for the existence of God, or even evidence. Forget proof. There's as much evidence for the existence of God as there is for the existence of UFOs and extraterrestrials. And yet, if you mention them for a moment, you're considered outside, beyond the pale. You're a kook. You're marginalized. You're crazy. If you mention, if you don't love God, then there's something wrong with you. It's absurd.
What if it makes people feel better?
That's a different thing. If you want to give the universe the name God, that's fine. The universe exists. We are all equal parts of it. made of the same stuff.
Most religions are based on the idea that somebody in some way through prayer can make you feel better.
Yes, but why do you need to make up stories?
Yes, why should
why
it be
does the supreme being have to be just...
Because life is hard, and you need to make up stories.
You need to make, as long as you realize that it's
weak-minded, you need that. You need that help.
The arrogance of
I know a lot of strong-minded people who are very, very sincere in their belief.
Strong-minded, but if they really believe that there's a man in the sky keeping score, something is wrong with them.
But does it matter what they believe? As long as you believe in something that makes you get through
I believe in the vastness of the universe and in infinity. I believe in family and friends. I believe in love.
So that's your God.
No, it's not my God. Those are not God.
That's your spiritual.
God means an old man in the sky.
It doesn't mean that to me.
Well, why do you use the word? Why do you need the word God? What does the word God do?
Yeah, I don't need the word God.
Does he decide things for you?
No, he doesn't. I don't believe in a he at all.
Then you don't believe what all these other people
believe.
believe.
In the universe,
you have a more sophisticated approach to it, and I respect that.
But I don't denigrate anybody else's approach to it.
I do too. I do too. And I say it all the time. And I'll say it again. It's childish.
Yeah.
It is childish.
It is arrogant to say to billions of people on the planet who understand that God is real and makes a difference in their lives that you know better than they do. And that's the
they're the ones who say they know better. I'm saying I don't know.
They yield in awe to the Almighty God.
No, I'm the one who's saying I don't know. I don't know, and that's okay that I don't know. You're the guys who are saying, I have to know, and the answer is that he did it in 6 days, and he made woman out of a rib. That's what's childish, is to say, I don't know these answers, but I'm going to make up this story, and then I'm going to make all these people believe it. If they don't, I'll kill them.
Millions of people on the planet got it wrong.
Millions of people are stupid.
But you're not being arrogant when you do that.
All right, I got to take a break, or the network will say I'm
Join us tomorrow when our guest will be comedian David Brenner, author and actress Valerie Harper, recording artist Taj Mahal, and GOP pollster Kellyanne Conway.
Talking about belief and what people need to believe to get through the day, and you mentioned...
We're making friends over here.
Good. You mentioned UFOs.
We'll be praying soon.
And I always say that, you know, people, what they think are the conspiracies are not. The conspiracy is right before us. It's George Bush taking money from the oil companies and then raping the environment. That's the conspiracy. It's not Area 51. Area 51 is the White House, okay? It's not the UFO that's going to kill you. It's the SUV that's going to kill you.
See, come out and say it. Come out and say it. I am here, I'm the nanny government, and I'm going to take away all your rights because I know better than you.
We heard that.
There is nothing
I'm just saying, what do you
on
think
the
are the
There's
conspiracies?
not unlimited money, there's not unlimited wood, there's not unlimited carpet.
I don't think, like, the UN with its black helicopters, I don't think there's a conspiracy there. I don't think JFK, I don't think they could have hid that conspiracy for this long. I think the conspiracies, the truth isn't out there. It's right here. It's in the mirror if you have the guts to look for it. It's not these things that we think are conspiracies.
And that's why we won't get effective policy, because we make up these little discussions about conspiracies to explain what we ought to be responsible for. There are choices out there. If you want a car that will go 40 miles to the gallon, it's available for you.
What are we talking about?
If you want to ride a bicycle, maybe
he should have his own show.
I know, but I'm
oil
talking...
company can't make you not ride your bike if you want to.
They can limit your choices.
The availability of bikes.
They can spend a lot of money. They can spend a lot of money in Congress. They can spend a lot of money forming policy that benefits them.
The President of the United States could sit down with the congressional leaders and say, before my term is over, no car produced in America will get less than 25 miles to a gallon.
American people don't want that.
They don't.
Of course they do.
Tomorrow, go to a dealership today.
They don't.
Go to a dealership today.
You know what? The American people, excuse me, didn't want to integrate the schools.
That's not true. That is false.
Oh, really? That's why we had to say...
Do you think a minority in America made integration happen?
I think I remember having to send in federal troops.
A majority of America supported the government that made the policies possible. The Civil Rights Act, the Equal Housing Act. It was the democratic process. It was not a conspiracy.
You say Americans don't want to drive these economic vehicles. Since when do Americans get what they want? When did this start happening?
You go to...
How did this begin to happen, that people actually get what they want? things are taken care of at a high level with a lot of money
Except
changing
in your
hands,
universe,
and then you
everybody
follow.
else is free to make choices in America. That's what freedom
In
is
the
all
paper
about.
today,
No,
they
they're-
said the
they're
tax cut,
meaningless
Bush's
choice.
tax cut was going to benefit the 400 most wealthy people in America the most.
If you pay
I got to
That's-
get more money. We'll
Yeah.
take a break. I'm going to try. All right, here's Bob's book. Tomorrow, David Brenner, Valerie Harper, Taj Mahal, and Kellyanne Conway Harris. Thank you again for being the lone arguer.